Hi guys, we're going to go over a little bit of what is included in a personal realistic fiction narrative. The personal part is sort of optional, but it needs to be a realistic fiction narrative. That's what we're going to be writing for our first writing unit. So a narrative is really a story. That's what a narrative is. A narrative is a story. So and fiction just means that it's made up. It's not factual. The goal is not to teach your reader anything like factual. The idea is that you're going to tell a story that's entertaining. So the goal is to make sure that your narrative has realistic characters, setting, and plot. So realistic meaning you can't write about dinosaurs. You can't write about, spaceships. It's got to be something that could happen and could happen in about 2020. It needs to have realistic characters. So again, no talking animals, no witches, no zombies, nothing like that, because those things aren't real and they're not realistic. Your setting also needs to be realistic. So you want to make sure that your setting isn't the moon, Mars, in the past, 300 years ago, back where cavemen lived. All of those settings would be unrealistic because they aren't happening now. Your story doesn't need to be set today, like on today's date, but it needs to be happening around 2020. So if it happened in 2019, that's fine. It needs to be modern day. It needs to have a beginning, middle, and an end. And really that just means that you need to have a problem in your story. There needs to be some sort of problem. It doesn't have to be a huge problem, but it has to be a problem, and there needs to be a solution, a resolution to the problem. So for instance, your story could be about a kid who lost their earring, and the solution is their brother helped them find it. So that would be an example of a problem and resolution. Also, you need transition words. Transition words are really there just to give you an idea of when the story is taking place. So next, then, later, after, all of those words, all of those types of words are transition words. It helps the reader know when the story is happening. So if you say, the character put on their swimsuit and got in the pool, there was probably some time in between when they put on their swimsuit and they didn't get in their swimsuit right at the pool. There was probably some time in between when they finished putting on their swimsuit and when they got in the pool. So if you said, Joe put on his swimsuit, then later he got into the pool. That would sort of orient the reader so they know what time things are happening. And finally, the story should be a small moment. So a small moment just means that your story does not take place over weeks and months and years, because that's too much. We're looking for a couple of pages, so you don't want to write too much. So your story should be something that happened, definitely in one day. So you don't want your story to be too long. So it's got to be an event, something that happened. Maybe one character had an argument with another character, and it's just a 30-minute exchange. So you don't want to write about something that's too big. And that's it. So those are the things you really need in your realistic fiction narratives. And good luck. I know you guys are going to do great.